The movie begins with a young man named Gulliver, who works at a newspaper company in New York City. Gulliver is not completely satisfied with his job. He is completely depressed, but there is a girl named Darcy who works here. Gulliver likes Darcy very much. He wants to express his feelings of love to her, but because of his natural nature, he can never say it. One day, before going home in the evening, he goes to Darcy's cabin, where Darcy is working. In the course of the conversation, he picks up a form from there, which Darcy sees and asks him if he is interested in traveling. But Gulliver lies to her that he has traveled to big countries, including India. She is very impressed by this and she asks Gulliver to write an article on traveling. Gulliver tries to write when he comes home, but nothing comes to his mind. So he makes a report by copying from other articles, and the next day he goes to the office and shows that report to Darcy, seeing which Darcy is very happy and tells Gulliver that he should write an article on Bermuda Triangle, for which he will have to go there, and Gulliver also agrees to go there. The next day, Gulliver arrives in Bermuda and rents a boat. The owner of the boat tells Gulliver how to operate the boat. Then, Gulliver sets sail for Bermuda. Gulliver is moving quickly, but halfway through, in the middle of the ocean, he dozes off and his boat is caught in a storm. When Gulliver wakes up, he is on the shore and sees that many small men are climbing on his body. That is, he has reached the world of tiny people, who has tied him with ropes and has also built a bridge over him. The man standing on his chest is the Journal of Tiny People. Gulliver tries to stand up with all his might. He stands up, but the people of Tiny People trap him again in the rope and throw him down and take him to their king tied up. Now, Gulliver is presented to the king of Tiny People. In fact, the name of this state is Lilliput, and the people of Lilliput understand that he is a giant monster who is a threat to them. That is why Gulliver has been tied up. Although Gulliver tries to explain to the king that he is an ordinary man and not a monster. But no one believes him and he is locked in a large cave. There is another prisoner there named Horatio. He is also a resident of Lilliput, so he is also a tiny people. Gulliver asks him why he is imprisoned, then Horatio explains that he loves the princess, and the general here, who is the princess's fiancé, has imprisoned him out of jealousy. Just then the general comes there, seeing which Gulliver gets very angry and calls him an idiot. But the general does not know the meaning of idiot. So he asks Gulliver what idiot means. Gulliver says that it means intelligent person, which makes the general very happy and he starts calling himself idiot. Now, since Gulliver is a prisoner here, he is forced to work. He is put to work in the fields, where oxen should be used, and he is made to farm. At that very moment, the enemy attacks Lilliput. Because the attack is sudden, the Lilliputian army does not understand anything. The enemy first sets fire to the palace and also tries to kidnap the princess by entering the palace. At that very moment, Gulliver arrives there and saves the princess. Everyone is scared due to the fire, but Gulliver tells them, "Don't worry, I will put out the fire." After that, he puts out the fire. Now, since he also saved the life of the princess, the king is very happy with him and tells him, "I am inviting you to dinner today." On this, Gulliver says to the king, "I will accept your invitation only on one condition. If you will release Horatio, that means you will free him." Because the king agrees to his words, Horatio is released. But this makes the general very angry. In the evening, Gulliver goes to the king for a feast, where everyone takes great care of him. The king asks him where he is from. Gulliver says he is from New York. Everyone here thinks that Gulliver is the president of New York, to which Gulliver also says that yes, he is the president of New York. While the truth is that Gulliver is an employee of a small newspaper company in New York. But he is disappointed with his job and his life. So when everyone here considers him a hero, he does not even hesitate to lie about himself. The king is very happy with Gulliver, so a luxurious house is built for him. This house has every kind of facility. It is also told to Gulliver that we will find his boat. Now, Horatio and Gulliver have become good friends. Gulliver knows that Horatio likes the princess, so he tells Horatio how to impress the princess. While he could never impress his colleague Darcy. But Horatio believes that what Gulliver said and did, he can impress the princess, because Gulliver is considered the president of New York here and he cannot be a stupid person. Gulliver tells Horatio quite stupid ways and Horatio also follows him with full dedication. But surprisingly, the princess is impressed. On the other hand, the general's soldiers find Gulliver's boat, because the general wants to get Gulliver out of here as soon as possible. Now Gulliver goes to his boat and he sees that all his belongings are there, where he also sees his cell phone and sees that there is also a voicemail from Darcy in it. When he hears it, he realizes that Darcy is very angry with him, because he did not come back on time, and because of him Darcy will have to do his work, and he too has left for Bermuda Triangle. Now the next day is shown that the enemy country attacks Lilliput. At that time, Gulliver is resting in his house, but then Horatio comes there, who tells him that the king has made him a general. The king tells him that the enemy country has invaded our country and they need him at this time. Now Gulliver descends into the sea like a superhero, where there are many enemy ships. Gulliver goes to the enemy and tries to convince them to leave now. But they do not listen to Gulliver and attack him with their cannons. But their cannonballs are so small that they have no effect on Gulliver, and he pulls all the ships to shore. In this way, Gulliver saves Lilliput again. Everyone is cheering for Gulliver, which makes the general very angry. He already hates Gulliver very much. But now when everyone is considering him a hero and loving him, a storm of hatred rises in his heart. Now, Gulliver is given even more luxury here. The princess also breaks off her engagement with the general here, because she also knows about his true nature. She does not like him, but she likes Horatio. The general gets furious at this and he shakes hands with the king of the enemy country. He also has a magazine of Gulliver, which has a way to make robots. The enemy country secretly builds a very large robot using the way to make that robot. After becoming a robot, they once again attack Lilliput and capture them. At the same time, they have a giant robot with them, in which there are tiny people and a journal. The journal tells Gulliver the truth about themselves by talking to him. After that, Gulliver informs the people that he is not the president of New York but works for a newspaper. Then, the journal takes him captive on a ship and leaves him towards an island where no one dares to go. Gulliver is happy when he reaches the shore because he thinks he is among people like himself. But when he tries to meet a human, a huge jar comes over him, and he is taken captive in it. Later, Gulliver is shown dressed in girls' clothes. But when he goes outside, he sees that he is only inside a dollhouse, and there is a very large girl in front of him. This means that he was in tiny people's country before and now he is in the land of giants, where he himself is a tiny person. That's when Horatio comes and tells him that just as you arrived in our country, Darcy has also arrived in our country, but General has made her a prisoner, and along with the king, and now only you can save them all. Now, Gulliver somehow escapes from here with Horatio and reaches Lilliput, where he confronts that giant robot again, and Gulliver attacks it, and there is a big battle between the two. This robot is very powerful because it is equipped with modern technology. Today, due to this, he is weighing heavily on Gulliver. Just then, Horatio goes inside the robot and disconnects some wires. This causes many of his systems to fail. Gulliver takes advantage of this opportunity and dismantles it completely. That is, he has now destroyed the robot. This means that Gulliver won the battle and liberated Lilliput. Now the king is also free, so he agrees to the marriage of Horatio and the princess. Because Horatio also showed great bravery in this battle and went inside the robot and dismantled those wires. And he brought Gulliver back too. But then the general arrives there and he takes the princess hostage at the point of his sword. But the princess is also very brave. She punches him, which makes him fall to the ground. Darcy and Gulliver are shown there. Darcy is very impressed with Gulliver. Then they come out of their ship into the normal world, that is, New York. After this, Gulliver and Darcy are shown, who both hold each other's hands and go to a restaurant. That is, these two are now girlfriend-boyfriend. Now that Gulliver, who lied that he was a traveler, has now become a true traveler. He has traveled to many countries and has also become a writer. Then they both plan here where they should go next. With this, the movie ends here. How did you like this movie? Do tell us by commenting. And do subscribe to our channel.